And here we are at the TechNL Innovation Week 2023. And I got to tell you, what an exciting time it's been already. Been in a lot of great conversations. Stephanie, why don't you go ahead and remind us who you are and what you do?
Absolutely. So I'm Stephanie Howlett, CEO of DiversityNL, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. So I do diversity training, strategies, all sorts of talks, sessions. I've done pieces of work with TechNL and a lot of different industry partners that are here today.
Now, the tech sector here in Newfoundland is it's on fire. There's a lot of great things happening, a lot of cool conversations happening. I find that, and I've said this a lot of times on this podcast, is that it's a real neat collaboration between government, industry, and academia, and I would even argue community. And everybody's celebrating this technology space. The piece of the conversation that you bring touches all of those sectors, all of those people, and it's very important. Tell me about the importance of it in the tech community right now.
Yeah, so I guess we're having a lot of conversations on unconscious bias, microaggressions, on the importance of diversity, why we should be looking at diversity, bringing in diverse groups of people within all the different industries you talked about, like what that looks like for them, real time, real place, real space. And I think the pandemic has probably brought a lot of this on, the conversation. Certainly when George Floyd being killed in the US, that brought us all to say, what are we doing for our people? Like, how does that look for us? Right? And we see across the world, there's a lot of different travesties and things happening. So what are we doing as people?
So that diversity conversation and the importance of having a diverse lens in something as important, as complex and fast moving as the tech sector, tell me how that can be an advantage to embrace that.
Absolutely. I mean, when you look at, your customer satisfaction, when it increases by 39%, that's massive. When your profitability goes up by 27%, these are big numbers. So organizations are starting to grasp onto the big numbers to say, how do we keep our people? How do we get more people to come with us that are from different backgrounds, different gender identities, different races, ethnicities, different spaces, right? Really looking at that within technology and beyond.
Technology and innovation largely, it requires a great deal of creative thought and a great deal of different lenses looking at things. What you're describing is exactly that, is everybody looking at a challenge, but through their own lens and their own understanding of it and how it could be better. And when you bring all of those lenses together, that's powerful.
It is. It's massively powerful. So you're getting everyone within the same room, within the same space, to start looking at what are we doing as an organization or as people, as leaders, being those change agents. Like what can we do differently? What are those different things within our organization? Maybe it's wearing a Moosehead campaign pin. Maybe it's talking about your pronouns. Maybe it's doing land acknowledgements. Looking at all these things, how do you basically do the DNA? Put diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging within your DNA as an organization, and keeping that top of mind.
And what are some kind of, one thing around this space, people, they want to contribute. They want to contribute. Most want to contribute, I would say.
Right.
But sometimes fearful, do I say the wrong thing? Do I do the wrong thing? How do you ease that kind of concern? How would you articulate that?
I think it's all about making the first step, like truly making the first step, saying, I want to learn, I want to know more. So a lot of this is educational as well. Having some facilitated conversations with you and your staff and being vulnerable, listening to people's stories, because everyone has a story. And I think when we show that human compassion and that vulnerability, it's really the empathy that's coming through. It's going to help us as humans and connect with our people within our organizations, no matter your tech, your government, your whatever space that you're in.
It's amazing, when you are vulnerable, when you open up, especially in this place we call home,
100%.
How people embrace you.
Yeah, for sure. I've found that LinkedIn, like people have embraced me more than I would have ever thought, to be honest, in what I'm doing. Like it's amazing. And it's perfect time, place, and space. And synergies, right? Like partnering. This is all about partnerships. How do we create those partnerships and opportunities?
Are you liking what you see in the tech sector right now?
Yeah, I think we're definitely advancing and moving ahead. Like I'm very hopeful for what the future brings for us.
What are you most excited about?
Doing work with all these great companies. I mean, getting to know their technologies, their stories. I do podcasts as well, so I love getting people's stories and just getting to shine light on the fantastic things they're doing. Technologies, innovations, it's fantastic.
So there'll be companies now that will be listening to this and they'll be saying, I need Stephanie's help. I need her in the conversation. How do they access you?
Yeah, so I'm on LinkedIn, DiversityNL, or www.diversitynl.com, or Stephanie@diversitynl.com.
Stephanie, it's always a pleasure to be in conversation with you. I love your refreshing lens on it, and I love how clearly you just say, just ask questions, just get in the conversation.
100%.
Yeah, and I think if it all comes from a genuine place, then that's going to be good for all of us, because I'm a firm believer that love goes a lot further than hate.
It does, 100%. Absolutely.
Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks, it's been a pleasure.